Marie-Louise, good morning. Francois Fenelon was one of the brightest, most famous, and most prominent writers, philosophers, and theologians of his time in 17th century. He was Catholic archbishop serving in France. But what really was special about him, he was also serving in the cathedral where usually the French kings would go to take part in the service. So every day his church was full with people who knew exactly that the King Louis XIV of France would be attending the service. But one day, when the king showed up in the chapel in the church, he found the church completely empty. There was not but even one person present in the church, but only the clergy. So the king was very curious, and he approached the archbishop and he asked what's going on and why the church was so empty. To his surprise, the archbishop told him that he informed everyone that His Majesty would not be attending the Patriarch, the Divine Liturgy, on that day, so the king can see for himself who is truly attending the service, the beautiful cathedral, to serve and to pray honestly to God, and who is simply there to please the king. In 17th century, before or after it, or even during our modern day and time, there are many different reasons that bring people to church. And while many of these reasons are good, holy, and noble, some of them we might feel uncomfortable. Some of them we might consider as bad, unholy, and impure. But in my honest opinion, no matter why a person is in the church, it is always a beautiful, mystical opportunity for him to encounter Christ. Some of us are here to find cure and remedy for our wounded souls. Others are perhaps searching for peace, for joy, and for meaning in their lives. Some might be here in this church because there is simply nowhere else to turn in their lives. In today's gospel reading, the reading from the Bible, we see that Christ goes to Jerusalem and he's teaching while in the temple in Jerusalem. And in fact, if we read the Gospels, we see quite often that Jesus would go to the temple in Jerusalem, or that he would attend a worship service in a local gathering. But why did Jesus do so? Did he go to church, to temple, because Christ needed to pray? Did he need to pray? Or perhaps he was teaching us that it is really important to come to church, to be part of spiritual community, family. I think all of the answers are true and good, but there is something so amazing and special if you read these stories carefully. Because it appears to me that every time that Jesus went to the temple or took part in any worship service, somebody was healed. somebody found recovery, spiritual or physical. Could it be that by doing so, Christ is inviting and reminding us the importance of coming to church and teaching us and giving us another reason why perhaps we should be in the church every Sunday? Of course, it is very easy to dismiss this notion and to say that, well, Christ was holy, Christ was the Son of God, and I am not holy, and I do not have gifts and talents to heal people, to remove their diseases, their misfortunes from their lives. But this is not entirely true. And it is not true because most often God needs a human being like you and like me to help him, to carry the sick to him and to lead him to the sick, to give them hope, to give them a reason to continue to fight, to continue to hope, to continue to pray and to wait for their own miracle. This is precisely what I believe that this Sunday's reading is teaching, proclaiming, and reminding us about, because I can guarantee to you that even though Sunday morning when you come to church together, we might not see paralytics and blinds and people possessed with evil spirits begging for healing and mercy. I assure you that every Sunday, whenever we come to this wonderful church, there is at least one person present who is going through the darkest days of his or her life. Most often, all they need to find healing, to find God, to find recovery, is a friendly conversation, a warm conversation with them, a compassionate presence that gives hope. Somebody who shows that they have the time to listen to them, to listen to their pain, to their story, who are willing to connect with their suffering and their struggle. This, my dear brother and sister in Christ, is another reason to go to church on Sundays, because we are constantly reminded and encouraged that through our prayers, during the liturgy and Patarag, through our conversations in this church, in the narthex, or in the parking lot, we, in fact, are healing someone without even perhaps realizing it, and bringing them closer to Christ, to whom glory and honor today and forever. Amen. Հիմա նաև հոգեհանգիստ պիտի լինենք. We are going to conduct a requiem service, and we are going to pray, beseech, and ask our loving Lord to bless the souls of Olga Kadabashians and Lyudmila Yeremina.